Yeah, good morning everybody. Brand new day. Shout out to everybody watching the channel. I appreciate every single one of you guys. We're just starting out. Finally hit 100 subscribers too. Woo! Let's go. But good morning. Brand new day. It is Tuesday, July 15th. Market is doing fantastic today. AMD is up pretty freaking big. Hold on, let me sneak into this lane, cut some people off real quick. Speaking of cutting people off, I got a freaking ticket this morning, man. Officer pulled me over and he said, "Sir, you're going 85 in a 65." I said, "Officer, all right, cut me some slack, give me a break, all right? It's a Lexus F Sport. What do you want from me?" He said, "Oh, it's an F Sport? Oh, I'm so sorry about that." And he went back to his bike. It was Highway Patrol, and he said, "Sir, I'm just gonna cite you for 5 over. I had no idea it was an F Sport." I said, "It's okay. It's okay. Thank you. I appreciate that." So shout out to Officer G, who pulled me over, but only gave me the 5 over. He respected the car. It was fantastic. But anyway, guys, we'll be talking about the market a little bit more in the next part of this video. But I'm on a bit of a long drive right now. My second job is needing some help. I guess the person who's covering that branch is off to vacation for a week. So, hey, they were like, "Hey, Francis, we need some coverage for a week." I said, "Give me a hotel room and I'll stay up there and feed me too while I'm there." And they were like, "Sure, no problem." So they got me in a hotel room. Hopefully it's pretty nice. Hopefully they gave me a suite. That'd be dope. That would be sweet. And yeah, man, we'll have a good week of shifts in that branch. It's pretty awesome too, because that place is kind of slow, so I can kind of take it easy, get a little bit of rest even though I'm at work, and work on some videos and some stock research for you guys. Earnings season's coming up, so hopefully you guys are looking out. I put in a couple call options for the upcoming earnings report, hoping for some good reports for some of my stocks. Hopefully you guys stay tuned on the previous and recent videos and see what those call options were. But anyway, I'm gonna keep enjoying this drive. Look at this beautiful mountain scenery. Hopefully you guys can see that on camera. I'm gonna keep on driving in the speed limit so I don't get any more tickets. I mean, the ticket was only 150 bucks since he cut me some slack on the 5 over. But see, that would be an issue, but I know we've been investing and we're saving and we're earning some money. So, SoFi got this. This ticket right here, SoFi got that, right? Fubo got that ticket. Who else is picking up the tab for this ticket? Nike's picking up the tab. Estee Lauder, I haven't talked about Estee Lauder, but Estee Lauder got this tab, right? So I'm not even paying for it. I'm not even paying for the ticket. My homies got it. The portfolio got it. Hey, yo, portfolio homies, pay for the ticket. Dude, check out these mountain roads that I just got put on. So, all honesty, I took a wrong turn, and so this is the detour. And, dude, it's a bunch of windy, beautiful mountain roads going through these, little cutouts. I didn't know I was going to be grand touring before going to work. Imagine going on your daily commute and you're freaking grand touring, so... Damn, guys, this morning has been a greater adventure than I would have imagined it was going to be. Life is funny, man. Sometimes life is funny. These random adventures just come up. Nevertheless, I'm still late for work. So let me make up some time on these mountain roads. Thank God I have this car. I got it in sport mode, so it kind of tightens up the suspension, makes the steering a little bit more stiff so you're real stable. It feels great. And then over to the side, so I got pretty dark tint, but I'm all the way up on the mountain, so I'm overlooking the whole valley. Man, it's so beautiful. So grateful, man. Sometimes you get a ticket, your stocks go good, and then you get late for work, but then you're on a grand touring mountain road. So, hey man, life gives and life taketh away, and then life gives again and take it away. It's all one big cycle, but enjoy the ups and laugh at the downs and you'll make it through. Anyway, I'm gonna keep enjoying these freaking beautiful roads in the mountain, and I'll finally check back in with you guys with all the stock talk coming up. All right, guys, what's going on? Driving Dollars fam. I got a new stock I want to talk about. My dad put it on my radar. Okay, funny story. I was putting in covered calls on my portfolio. If you guys don't know what that is, covered calls is a really cool play with options that like essentially prevents you from making money, and all you do is make profit. And I'll definitely make a covered call video soon to kind of explain what it is, and maybe it's like a strategy that you guys can use. I'm newer to it too, and like maybe we can take this journey together. It's so freaking awesome. I'm kind of obsessed with it right now, but I gotta like keep my mind on the appreciation of the stock. Like you can't forget about the root. Like the income you can get from covered calls and selling covered call contracts is really cool, but like it's honestly just drops in the bucket, and that should not be the main focus. But I'm kind of obsessing with it right now because I really want to get a good grip of it. And once I kind of like invest the time and effort in like getting that good core knowledge with covered calls, then I'll like chill out and do like fewer trades that are like more big ticket, since I have a better grip of it, if you know what I mean. Like testing the waters type covered call contracts I'm selling. But anyway, so this new stock, like I was talking about covered calls with my dad, and I was like, let me walk you through covered calls and have you put your first covered call in so you know how to do it. And he did it on this stock, and I was just like, you know what, like I couldn't see the option chain on my side because it wasn't one of my Fidelity positions. Like for some reason in Fidelity, like you can't see like the nice interface for the option chain unless you own the stock and you click on the stock that's your position and click option chain. And I was just like, you know what, F it, like let me just buy a couple hundred shares of this stock so that I can see the damn option chain, and literally like let me just put the same covered call order as you, Dad. And so I was on FaceTime with my dad while I was at work, and I bought 300 shares of this stock, and then we put the same covered call position in. And that stock, the company is called Plug Power, ticker symbol PLUG. It's like a really speculative energy stock, and they focus on hydrogen fuel, hydrogen energy. So essentially they're an alternative energy source that's like kind of getting some ramp up. Like I said, it's still speculative, but I just want to bring this to you guys' attention, and I think there might be some opportunity here for some growth upcoming. So what do? So what their aim is that they take like big company like warehouse type things, like fulfillment centers or just any kind of like warehouse where things are getting done. There's like moving parts and forklifts, and then they change the whole energy infrastructure of the warehouse or the manufacturing center, the assembly center, whatever, the fulfillment center, into all hydrogen-based energy. And by doing so, let's get into that. So we'll get into that. The products that they sell is essentially everything that has to do with converting an entire company infrastructure into just hydrogen energy. Their main products is something called GenDrive, which is like the hydrogen fuel engines, and you can put that on like the forklifts and like all like the different like transporting vehicles. So instead of doing gas engines, they're hydrogen engines. And then they also do GenFuel. So GenFuel is the product that essentially it's like a gas station at the whatever factory or big warehouse that the place is in. So it's like a gas station for hydrogen. So it stores the hydrogen liquid, the liquid hydrogen, and then it's also the dispenser. So you have to buy that if you're gonna have like, you know, the hydrogen engines and stuff like that. And then they have GenEco. It's an electrolyzer, and what it does, it's like a power plant where it takes just H2O, it just takes water, and it uses electricity to split the hydrogen and oxygen atom, and then like the oxygen can get collected, and you can use oxygen for whatever else oxygen is needed for, I don't know, like freaking medical masks or something like that. And then you keep the hydrogen, and that's what you use as fuel. You store the GenEco, which is the electrolyzer, take that, put it in the GenFuel storage, and then dispense it into the GenDrive fuel engines for like the forklifts and all like the transporting vehicles in the warehouse fulfillment center type deal. Do you guys get the picture? And then they have another product called GenCare, which is just a fancy thing of, it's like a subscription based product that Plug provides to the companies who take on this hydrogen infrastructure. So it like Plug will come out and like maintain the electrolyzers, they'll maintain the vehicle engines and make sure the dispensing is correct, you know, just monitoring and maintenance. So really cool stuff with this thing, right? And so I got to get into the numbers. So I went into the numbers for Plug, and I asked it to give me the numbers for the last few earnings reports. And so I'll put a screenshot somewhere next to my head, but you guys can see like EPS is negative. They've been missing EPS by a couple cents each quarter. They've been missing freaking revenue the last few quarters. I mean, actually, ever since inception, I think they've been missing revenue and EPS, except for the last quarter 1 2025 in May, when they had their first revenue beat. They beat it by 2.1%, coming from like negative 16% loss. Not loss, negative 16% miss, negative 22% miss, negative 23, negative 26% miss. And so the script kind of just flipped, that now they beat estimates. And so does this mean that the company is great? No. But what I think this means is that we went from a really, really shitty story to a less shitty story. And that improvement will reflect in the stock prices. So I'll put up a stock price here somewhere next to my head. You guys will see it went from 70 cents to now $1.50 something today, all climbing up slowly since that May earnings report where it showed that revenue beat. And so what else is going on with this company? Why is it missing? Why is it so negative all the time? And the biggest issue with Plug is they're spending a crap load of money. Like, they need funding, they need to build these hydrogen centers on where they can produce the liquid nitrogen. Like, they need the factories that make the engines, they need all of that stuff, right? So essentially they're a new company, and so they just need the infrastructure to be able to supply the products, supply the liquid nitrogen gas, and get the manpower to start doing these massive turnarounds at all these big companies to get them switched over to a hydrogen infrastructure. So that's where like millions and billions of money is going to what they're spending on. And so their spending got to such a bad level that they actually enacted like this program within their company, like an initiative to decrease their spending. So that initiative is called Project Quantum Leap, and it looks like it's aiming to save $150 to $200 million annually on their spending, which is really good because what they've been doing is they've been getting like private equity and investors to come in, and it's like further diluting the company. So it really sucks for the shareholders because it's just diluting our percentage of the company that we own. And so saving the money will ultimately be even better for the business being profitable, and B, having the shareholders' stock prices go up. Okay, let's talk about the positives for this company. They have a good amount of customers, and not just like some random little company, rinky-dink companies. Like, let me tell you this list of companies that they have right now: Walmart, Amazon, multiple airports, BMW, Home Depot, Mercedes-Benz, Nike, USPS, all these places that have like some form of like manufacturing or warehouse. I mean, even BMW and Mercedes-Benz, who make engines, are going over to hydrogen power. Like, how does that even make sense? Like, I mean, like, that just goes to show that there's some potential in this company, and perhaps potential in alternative energy sources, which has been kind of the laughing stock of the stock market over the last few years. I know Tesla and electric cars are doing great, but nevertheless, like, nobody kind of gives a shit about alternative energy, and hopefully there's some kind of play here with Plug. Okay, another good thing with Plug is that they're getting involved with the government. And so recently in early 2025, they got a $1.6 billion loan from the Department of Energy, meaning the Department of Energy probably thinks that this company is going to be successful in their initiative with the, pushing hydrogen power. It's cleaner, it's greener, and they decided to kind of put their money where their mouth is, governmentally wise, and give them a loan. Of course, they're not going to give a loan to a company they think is going to mess around with that loan or lose their money, not pay it back. So just showing that support from the US government shows that more than likely Plug has some kind of opportunity and some future success in their hydrogen initiatives. Another good thing is it looks like they're expanding into some of like the European initiatives. Europe is really big with going to alternative energy, getting away from fossil fuels and stuff like that for the environment. And so it looks like Plug is participating in some of those initiatives. I haven't dug deep into the international stuff, but the fact that they're also dabbling in international markets is just another way for them to access customers and participate and have relationships with international governments, which is just another income source for the company. Good news, definitely good news. So let's step away from all the government stuff. Why do these big companies want even to put in Plug into their business model, right? Walmart, Amazon, Mercedes, BMW, USPS, Nike, big players. Like, why are they changing their warehouses to a hydrogen-based infrastructure? Well, it's because it saves them money, right? Like, a company's not gonna do stuff because like, oh, it's cute and it's like, it's saving the environment. Like, they do not care about that stuff. They want to make sure that this is either going to make them more money or save them more money. And it's definitely the latter. So what happens is, by putting the Plug products in their warehouses, you know, the forklifts and all the vehicles that move stuff around in the warehouses and all the manufacturing plants, whatever, the hydrogen engines are more efficient. They're really quick to recharge. Like, it only takes like a few minutes for them to recharge. So it saves them time on the refueling. Like, a lot of these places have already had like electrical based like infrastructure. And so the vehicles would run on electric motors or electric whatever engines you want to call it. The refueling for the hydrogen fuel cells is only 3 to 4 minutes versus before they would have to charge the battery for hours. And so that's like losing production time for your fleet of vehicles. So you have to essentially get like an A and B fleet, you know, one to work and one to charge, and then you flip flop them so that there's always some kind of like work going on. If you switch over to the hydrogen cells, you essentially just get 3 to 4 minute downtime on one fleet. So you're not only saving money on not losing production time, you're saving money because you don't have to buy 2 forklifts. You just have to buy 1 forklift and it'll do the job of 1 forklift instead of trying to buy 2 forklifts that you just have to flip flop doing the work of 1 forklift, right? Another thing, the storage of the energy, the hydrogen cells, is way smaller than it is from like the regular equipment for the electrical batteries. And so that saves a lot more space in like the manufacturing area. So that could be more productive space instead of just storing your freaking electrical equipment and all that stuff. And then last thing on that, usually these companies are saving money on like a green tax by switching over to this type of thing. I think I saw there's like a 3% savings on tax once you switch infrastructure to like the greener hydrogen infrastructure. And so you think 3% tax savings, like, yeah, whatever. But like, these are like billion and trillion dollar companies. So 3% is a massive savings for these companies. And it probably pays for itself with how much all of this stuff would cost to get all the equipment put in, and all of that to get them switched over to the hydrogen infrastructure. So, you know, with all the innovation that's coming out with this company, they're getting retail support from these big companies. They're getting governmental support from both Europe and US. I mean, the numbers are starting to flip in terms of they finally met revenue for once, although the EPS is still negative, but who knows, maybe we'll flip over on the EPS. Net income is not good yet. You guys, hopefully I'll put up a thing next to my head. Net income is really what we're going for, right? There's not even a PE ratio for this company yet because there's no income. There's nothing to evaluate over. And so once they cut their spending down through that quantum leap initiative, like get the spending down and then keep ramping up the revenue because we see the revenue numbers going up, hopefully we'll beat that threshold of that net income. And once that happens, I mean, sky's the limit for this company. I mean, it's a beaten down stock that's been negative, and it's in the jungle right now in the dollar penny stock range. But I mean, we're seeing real support and a real story change with this thing. So do I think it's like a for sure, let's do this? Like, no, but I think there's enough opportunity and possibility here that I'm gonna put some money into it. And so you guys already heard, I bought 300 shares for this stock earlier today. Really almost like a joke, but then I was like, okay, well, I just put like $500 into this company. Let me see what I put $500 into. And I was like, oh, now I see why my dad has been talking about this over the last few months. Like, I thought he was just crazy because like he would say, hey, go check out this Plug. And I was like, yeah, it's $1 stock. Oh, yeah, it's 80 cents. Like, I don't care. And then I look into it and there really is some opportunity here. So thank you, Pa. for showing me this stock. I'm gonna keep my eye on it. If some good stories come out and the story and the sentiment around the company keeps getting better and better, I'll probably build out the position to a little bit bigger than 300 shares. Who knows? Maybe we can get to 1,000 shares. That's like a really good place. And then I'll just put covered calls on it to call my to hedge my bottom end on it, which, like I said, I'll talk about the covered calls real soon on a different video. Anyway, guys, let me know if you're gonna consider Plug. Let me know what other like really speculative like dollar stocks you guys are going into. I'm totally risk on right now with like 2025 gearing up to be a pretty good economic and financial year, especially in the stock market. So let me know what like little penny stocks you guys are getting into with good upside potential, and maybe I'll talk about it. Maybe I'll find some hidden gems like Plug. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'm just hanging out in the cigar lounge doing some computer work, guys, but thank you so much for watching. I love making these YouTube videos. I'm glad I picked it up as a hobby because it has just done wonders for me, my knowledge, hopefully to some of you guys' knowledge. You know, I'm not here to be a teacher. I'm really just here to kind of make a community and have a place where we can all talk about some stocks, and I have some people I can talk about the stocks that I like with. So anyway, thank you. That is my shout out to everybody watching this video. Thank you for watching this video. You guys take care. Do your due diligence. Empower yourself to make more. Educate yourself. And as always, let's make this money.